Hey, happy people. So today, you already seen the title, we are going to make a wild rice and mushroom soup. Cooler weather has somewhat made its way to my neck of the woods. We don't get much of winter, like 1 month, so usually fall is only like 2 weeks. So I am going to go ahead and usually start making large pots of soup to put in the freezer so I can have that ready for that 1 month of cold. When it is cold and I come home and I'm all cold, I can just hurry up and warm it up so I can warm myself up. So I am going to go ahead and turn my pot on here so it can start heating up. And you guys already know, watch the intro and I'll be right back. Alright, so we are back. My skillet has warmed up. My pot has warmed up here. I have just enough grapeseed oil to kind of cover the bottom. It's not even fully covering the bottom, but just enough so we can saute our vegetables here. So to get started, I have 1 pound of baby bella mushrooms, just sliced pretty thick there. And we're going to saute these first, get these all nice and soft. Alright, and we're going to add a little sea salt here, just a little bit in my palm, to help release the juices of the mushrooms. And now I'm just going to cover this. Drop my spoon on the freaking floor. Okay, so now I'm just going to cover this so it'll help release the juices. Let me go clean my spoon and I'll be back. Alright, it has been a few minutes here. My mushrooms have released a lot of the juice here, so now, as you can see, they released some of their juices and they've cooked down a little bit. So now we're going to add our vegetables here. And I have some, this is a large green bell pepper, a small red one, a medium-sized yellow one. That's just how they came in the pack. Medium red onion, a small white onion, yeah, not the yellow one. And this is a few sprigs of the fennel bulb. I did not use the bulb itself, the bottom white part. I used the stalks, and this is probably about 3 stalks just cut up. I took all the sprigs off and just chopped them up thin little chops. And we're going to add this. No, we're not. We're going to add our ginger. I got about, this is probably about 1.5 tablespoons of ginger I've chopped up kind of small there. I forgot to put this in the oil first, but that's okay. I usually do start out by cooking that first, but hey, sometimes you forget. and now I'll add all my vegetables here. Give this a quick little stir here. I also have 1 tablespoon of wakame flakes, the dried wakame. I kind of tried to break them up as much as possible so they would be small, so when they rehydrate it just won't be big flakes of the seaweed. So I'm going to add that. And I got my seasonings here. I got some sea salt, onion powder, some rub sage, the ground papaya seed, dill, and coriander powder. Yeah, coriander seed powder, and about 10 little seeds of the red pepper flakes. Get all this mixed up together here. Alright, now I'm just going to let my vegetables cook down to they're nice and tender here. Put the lid back on so it'll help cook them a little faster. And I'll be back when they're tender. Get all this salt up. Okay, so my vegetables have been cooking for a little while here. They should be soft enough. So let's just check them out. Oh, that smells so good. Alright, so looks like they're pretty soft to me. Let's see here. Grab a bell pepper. Yeah. Yep, that's pretty soft to me. I can squeeze it, smash it in my hand. So now I'm going to add a few more things here. Now we're going to add our wild rice. This is 2 cups, about 2 cups of wild rice, 2 cups after it's been rehydrated, soaked overnight. Well, mine didn't soak overnight, it soaked for about 4 hours. Turn that around there. I'm going to add just a little bit more sea salt to this. Alright, and now I'm going to add just some water here. We're just going to cover it with water. We're not going to fill the pot all the way up. Now we're just going to let this come to a boil. While that's coming to a boil, I'm going to go ahead and make my slurry here. Use the same little measuring cup since I don't want to mess up no more dishes. Alright, so this is roasted chickpea flour. If you don't have the roasted, you can use your regular chickpea flour. If you don't have chickpea flour, don't like chickpea flour, you can use spelt flour, rye flour. I wouldn't recommend rye, not unless you like a little grittiness. But or you have a high-powered blender and you can make it down to a really smooth powder. Any flour you want to use. Banana flour, green banana flour, not the regular banana flour. But alright, so we're just going to add a little bit here to my measuring cup. Oh, forget it. I'll do the whole thing here. And some water. And just make a slurry here to add to our soup. Alright, and now we're just waiting on this to come to a boil before we add a slurry to it. Alright, so my pot here has come to a low boil. So now would be the best time to taste your broth. See if you like the flavor of it. Add any more herbs, seasonings you want to add. So let me get a little spoonful of broth here. Try not to burn myself. Yep, that has a nice flavor. I like that. Now you could just stop right here. That is good. You could just stop right here and this would be just fine. But the title of this video says it is creamy wild rice and mushroom. So now we're going to add our chickpea slurry here to this to make it creamy here. And with your slurry, you can add as much as you like to make it as creamy as you like. Just stir that in. Now, I have here some kale. This is the regular kale. This is about 2 cups after it's been washed and destemmed, and I just literally just broke it into little pieces so you won't have huge big chunks of kale in there. And we're just going to add this now. So as our broth is thickening up, our kale will be cooking down too. Alright, it has become a little creamy, but not as creamy as I like, so I made me a little more slurry here to add. Alright, so now our broth has thickened up. It's all nice and creamy here. Let y'all see that. See that? Look at all that color in there, and it's all nice and creamy like. If you don't like it this thick, just add a little more water or less slurry. Right now you want to taste it, because if you use the raw chickpea flour, you want to make sure that it has cooked out the rawness of it. And check your seasons, because you did add kale and some chickpea flour. Oh yeah, that's creamy. Get a little bit of that kale out of there. Ooh, hot. Hot. Okay, so Turn this all the way off. I'm going to put this in a bowl here. Look at that. That is creamy. Thick. So now, look at that. It's all nice and thick and creamy. Jiggly, baby. Alright, so now, we have made our creamy wild rice and mushroom soup. You do not have to add the kale if you don't want to. You don't have to add anything that you don't want to add. Hey, it's your kitchen, you cooking. Who am I? I ain't gonna come knock on your door or nothing, so. Add what you like, add what you don't like. I mean, add what you like, add what you don't like. Add what you like to it, more bell pepper or less bell pepper, more onion, less onion. You can add chickpeas, squash, whatever. But this is my version and I like this a lot better. I like this one. And it's great to me. I make a whole pot of this. I'm going to literally take most of this and put it in Ziploc bags and put it in the freezer, like I say, so when I come home on those long, cold evening nights, I can just warm it up really fast. That's why I don't like to have too much water in it. I like to be very creamy because you're going to add a little water when you're reheating it. So we're going to eat a little bit of this for dinner and then it's off to the freezer. So we are all done. Give me a like if you like this recipe. Let me know what you think of it. When you make it, comment in the comments what you thought, what you used, what you didn't. Like I always say, I am always learning, so I always want to know what people use in their recipes, what they would add or what they would take away. Most likely what they would add, because if I don't like the way something tastes, I'm going to figure out what it is that is making it taste like that, and I'm just going to remove that in the next time. So let me know what you add in here. Subscribe so you can see me make all of these alkaline substitutes for different things here. And I'm greedy, so you get to see these decadent, greedy things, you know what I'm saying? I know y'all like, she don't make no salads, she don't just make a wrap, she always gotta make something that's complicated. But that's me, I'm complicated, I like creativity in kitchen and lots of layers of flavor, so there we go. Share so other people can learn how to make alkaline meals, and then maybe your best friend or your buddy or something, y'all can make alkaline meals together. That is it, people. I am all done. So until the next video, stay happy.
Stress.